All right, how's it going, everybody? This is the Osmo.com NHL DFS Strategy Show. We have just a two-gamer to talk about tonight. Nothing that we haven't seen on a Wednesday. NHL not the greatest job scheduling tonight, or I guess this week. Um, but we got to deal with what we got. So a bunch of you have actually been having a lot of success on these two-game slates. So we hope to keep that up. Premium subscribers and then free people that have also been, watching the show and DMing me or whatever. Other than that, it's going to be a pretty normal show. We're going to go through what we saw last night. Seth in chat, I'll be on shortly after my Ottawa 2 and Grizzly call. They've decided to put me in charge. Yeah, Seth is now our boss. Seth actually does WNBA. Feels like that has been going on for a while, so I'm sure that season probably, I think they start up in the summer. So go check out Seth's WNBA stuff in the summer. He does a bunch of stuff for Osmo.com. Where's Alex's stream? You're going to have to... Here, I can give you the link to that. Let me find this. That is a premium stream, so here, I'll give you the link. You have to be a premium subscriber. I don't think that's one of the things that's free today. Let's see, Osmo's NBA game plan, live stream. There we go. Here's the link. Yeah, thanks, man. It was a close one. It was very close. So we'll go through, and the guy that won just crushed draft charts. So we'll talk about that. Do 150 lineups on a two-game slate. I'm not quite doing that. I'm playing 50 tonight. I think that's probably going to be my cap on these two gamers. Three gamers, I'll probably go up to about 100. Just putting too many bad lineups in, I think, when I'm running 150 or 100 on a two gamer, especially if I'm running three uniques. So maybe you just lower the uniques or something like that. My crunch tried to kick out 80% Isles 2, and I shut it down. Well, it's hard to go 80% on any team on a 13-game slate like last night. There were a ton of options. If you were on maybe Islanders 2 or the awful Stars who ended up breaking the slate, and did really well for me. So I guess I shouldn't call them the awful Stars, but if you were on a couple of those lower owned stacks, like everyone played Detroit 1. How do I join the team on Osmo? I have no degree, but I'm serious about DFS. Let's see. careers@osmo.com is what you email. Send your resume. Tell us about yourself and where you think you would fit in. We're always looking to hire talented people. So, even if there aren't any job postings open on the site, that doesn't mean that people can't be helpful to us. So we're always looking for talent. So if you got some, careers up at osmo.com. The great options today are OV, and OV. Seth, you can also do that. Those go directly to at Jake Hari's DMs though. But yeah. OV and 998 OV lineups out of 1,000. Yeah, crunching 1,000 for this. Like, you better be using one unique because you're going to be playing Ottawa 4 with Rangers 4 by the time you get to like your 300th lineup. Also, Osmo is totally hiring sports writers right now. I keep getting emails about it. Yeah, we're always looking to hire people. Growing company. So, yeah. Send your impressive resumes and cover letters in. Emacs playing NHL tonight? Jeez. Star-studded chat we got right now. All right. So, as you guys know, let me sign into my Yahoo account here. I don't know why I'm not signed in. This probably happens to you guys too. I keep getting kicked out. Like, it's probably because I keep losing money playing football over there. And that is not to say that is certainly not Yahoo's fault. They're doing their part, giving us the low management fees as we always talk about. Nice NBA contest too. So big NBA slate today. If you guys are playing NBA, I'm not sure there's a better place to do it than at Yahoo. This $10 looks pretty appealing. 102 max, but with the CSV deal they've got going on there, a lot of people are not going to max this out. I mean, you just scroll through here. Maybe a few people will max it, but for the most part, you're going to get casual players throwing in $10, and I think you can compete with one lineup or a couple lineups, and I think the same goes for NFL as well. And then you get the low management fees, so they're taking less of your money each time you put $1 in. You're not only getting 85% of it or whatever that you get on DraftKings and FanDuel. Tell me how much you make and I will apply. You can see how much I made last night, but that's not my salary. But yeah, I don't know. I absolutely no complaints working here. I get to work from home. Don't even leave my house some days. It's the life. My DK avatar is Osmo logo. Don't sue me. I rep the squad. No, actually, that's if you are looking to get a free month of an Osmo Plus subscription, we actually do. And I don't know if you're teeing me up for this or what, Germs6908, but here we go. We're just pimping everything today. It's a short slate, so I'm going to sell some things to you guys as I always try to do. Let's see, the Rock the Osmo avatar is what it's called. And if you read the details in here, there you go. Read the details in that link, and you can, if you do qualify, not like win a queue, but if you do qualify for the requirements, you can win a free month of Osmo Plus. So using the Osmo logos. No, we're never going to get mad at you for using it, especially on your DK or FanDuel handle. I mean, why would we be mad about that? We want to see you guys do well. Could you use any MMA content at Osmo? Josh does some. He does cheat sheets and a write-up. So Josh does a pretty good job. If it's good, though, I don't know. I'm not the one making hiring decisions, especially for those kind of sports. For NHL, I have some input, but for other sports, it's a bunch of the other guys, the guys behind the scenes. But yeah, it sounds like a bunch of you are interested, but yeah, careers@osmo.com. It's competitive. We get a lot of applications because people they want to be a part of it, it seems like. So that's awesome. That's really awesome. All right, so free stuff that we're giving away. We don't have the strategy syllabus out just yet for today, but it is going to be free. So here's what I have. The expert survey is up right now. The link right there is where you'll find it. It'll drop down for November 20th. This will be free. It's pretty cool if you're playing NBA and you kind of get in the minds of a bunch of different experts we have at our site. And it's got a cool name, Strategy Syllabus. It'll be back like you're in high school or college or middle school. I think, syllabus day was, I don't know. I always felt weird about syllabus day when I was in college. Like, I liked having new classes, but what if you didn't like the class? And I was stuck in here for 3 months, but I pretty much liked basically all my college classes, especially after my freshman year when I got into my major. So you got your free month a week ago. That's awesome, man. Yeah, so you can only get it, I think, one time a year, maybe. But yeah, just make sure you're taking advantage of that. If you are playing in these multi-entry GPPs and you're using the logo, you might as well get a free month out of it. So good stuff. Good stuff. Glad some of you are aware of it. If you're not, that's all right. That's what I'm here for. The lineup builder is free today. So this link, thanks to the link to content for a month ago. Yeah, so that it'll be there when it pops up, whenever it pops up. Does my house even have a door? It does. My door's right here, actually. Got many doors, actually. The lineup builder is also free today, so go check this out. I mean, follow along. It's a short slate, but you see kind of what we offer, especially for bigger slates. Very helpful. We've got the point grades, value grades, stack point ranking as well. So this is the light version that you guys would get if you have like an NHL Express weekly package or just any sort of Express package. This would be what you would get with the NHL lineup builder. You can kind of see as you go through, you get a GPA. Once you build your lineup and click on all your players, once it's finished, you'll get a GPA up here. And you can directly export and import with your CSV edit on DK or FanDuel. No, they didn't just build it around me. I do have a door. I actually do leave, believe it or not, at times. I don't want to make it seem like I leave every day. Let's not get crazy, but no, I do actually leave this desk. NHL giveaway also. We've got this going on. So here we go. I'm going to need you guys to come up strong for us here. It's a short slate. We've got 36 people already responding to this. I'm going to do a quick refresh. 37 now. So here's what you do. It's very simple, and you got a good chance of at least guessing the right player. People guessing Panarin. I like that call. What you do is you guess the player who's going to score the most fantasy points on tonight's NHL slate. Super easy. Super easy to guess. You need to retweet, you need to like, and you need to reply, of course. And then you also need to follow Osmo_com and Osmo NHL. Answer the prompt. If you get it, since it is a short slate, there's a good chance, you probably tie with someone, and then it just is going to be a random winner. But you can win a free Osmo Plus NHL pass. I think we're shooting for around 100 responses. We can't compete with the basketball guys. There's just so many people. Basketball is so popular, NBA DFS. But hopefully we come through strong here, and hopefully we can get this up into the 80s, 90s, and maybe even 100. That's my goal, at least. I don't know what the social media team has for the goal, but I think we can get to 100 here. So follow those directions there. I'll make sure to mention it towards the end of the show. And then NFL rankings as well. If you're building NFL lineups or whatever, there you go. NFL DFS rankings. So same kind of ranking system derived from Alex's projections. And I haven't even looked at the NFL slate. I usually just look at it literally Sunday morning or whatever. Maybe listen to a couple podcasts, watch On the Contrary or something like that. Watch the strategy shows. And then I'm just firing for NFL, playing too much money for a sport that I'm not really any good at. Is Edel a good play to consider for GPP on DK? Yeah, we'll get to him. All right. I think the answer, is yes. I think he's a perfectly fine play. Ownership is really going to matter here for a 2-game slate. Very concentrated. I'm not expecting to see anything weird, but you never are in terms of ownership. There's probably a couple edges, though, that I think we might get some low ownership on guys that have a decent chance of being in the GPP winning lineup. So let's look at last night. I'm on lineup study. We have, was it a 250K? Yeah, it was. Draft charts. What a stud. Had the same lineup in every tournament. Just crushed. 186.6. I think it was one of the highest scores on the night. The mini-max was a little bit higher. Zippy 1241 ended up winning the mini-max and the forecheck or whatever, the mini spin, whatever they called it last night. Draft charts took it down 50K. Slewfoot, familiar name. We've talked about him a couple hundred times this season. He was in second place. Let's look at the top finishing lineup here. And we've got Barkov, Dadonov, Huberdeau. Now, they weren't 1% like we had them, or I think we had them at like 2 and 3%. They were a little bit higher than that, but 4.4% for a line that was, yes, a little bit overpriced, but they were still in a really a good spot if you just go by the implied total. I keep talking about Philadelphia and how I think the implied totals are a little bit higher than what they should be, but That's why Vegas is Vegas, and that's why I am me. So if you just go by the implied total, yeah, compared to like Boston won, they weren't as good raw point, but at this ownership, I mean, that's really, really nice, and they paid off. More importantly, Islanders 2, Brock Nelson, Beauvillier, and then Brassard all had a couple points. Brock Nelson was the stud here, 3-point bonus. He had 35.5 DK points. And then, really like the Montour play, 20.5 points against Minnesota. Ended up scoring a goal late, so that was huge. Couple of low-owned defensemen, but guys that do have some upside on their own. As you see with Montour, 6 shots on goal. That's huge. You get the 5-point bonus, you get the goal. And then Pulock, who also scored, I think, pretty late in the game. So this one was, this lineup came on really strong towards the end, especially with his defensemen both scoring late in the game. Got the correlated goalie here. Really like that play on a huge slate like that. So great job here. I mean, just really awesome lineup. Exposure sum just 28.5. Wow. I was dreading this part of the show. Why were you dreading this part of the show? I don't know. This seems like everyone's favorite part. We see how much money I lose a lot of times. We see how much money a bunch of these studs win. Let's see. Let's look at what Alex had. Do you put your lineups with a higher projection into... Oh, because he crunched 8. Oh, okay, you were that guy. Dang. Sorry to hear. Probably bringing up old wounds then. My bad. Do you put your lineups with the higher projection in the more expensive contest, or do you just throw it into a CSV and let it go? Well, I usually just play the 10. I haven't been playing a lot of high stakes stuff. I did play the 360 or one in the spin yesterday. But for the most part, it's really one lineup, and that's about it. So no, to answer your question, I wouldn't just play the highest projected lineup, because if you're playing the highest projected lineup, you're probably not going to, like the ownership projections that we have, it's probably going to be more concentrated on the best plays, and the best plays are going to project the highest for the most part. And they're going to be owned the highest. So I think you're losing a little bit of edge if you just play the highest projected lineup. So I'd be looking to get a little bit different in like the higher dollar, lower entry contests, especially when you're going against pros like Slewfoot and Alex, Tom. Like, these guys all know who the best plays are, right? And so just playing the highest projected lineup, you're gonna get eaten alive, I think, in the long term, if that makes sense. FanDuel doesn't really have a lineup study. Oh, did Rayrock, did you win something? Let's see here. I think you were on Isles 2, you said. So that would make sense if you took something down. What do we got here? Come on, show me the money. Was it this tournament? Oh, Boggs took it down. Nice job. What did he have here? Krejci. Okay, Boston won. Pulock. So 4-4. That's something I need to utilize more on FanDuel, the 4-4, especially on bigger slates, like just going for correlation, hoping to catch the outlier performance. And he did here. Seth's guy, Grizzlick, 30.4. The Pulock goal. Man, Pulock was the nuts for everyone last night. And then Fleury. I really liked the Fleury play. I ended up playing him on my spin team. And then I ended up cashing that lineup. I woke up and I was like, well, how did I even cash that? But I guess Vegas came on strong. 3 putts is Slewfoot. I don't know Slewfoot. I've never met him. He's just a really awesome player that I study. I know you're talking NHL, but is there a place to apply? Yeah. Okay, Rayrock, we'll go to the breakaway, and then we can look at my lineups as well. There's the place to apply. Send it to that email. Oh, yeah. By highest projected, I mean highest I've rated from ownership and points. If you're doing some sort of balance between ownership and points, like total sum or chance of duplication product, then yeah, I think play like your best lineup that has the highest combo of those. So like lowest owned with the highest projection. My DK name is Tommy Nation 1. stupid story about how I got it. Doesn't really matter. Got to get this win. Our boy from Premium Slack, Colorado won with Dallas won. So he's always dogging on me for talking about Dallas, and now I get off Dallas, he gets on, and he almost binks. I guess I almost binked with Dallas too. So can't hate. Ben was huge. Look at this consistency down the line here. Everyone in the 20s except for Donskoy, but he still got on the score sheet. A few shots on goal. Need a little bit more out of Cale Makar. 4-4. Is 4-4 the play on FanDuel? I mean, it seems like it. I go on and off playing FanDuel. I wish that GPP didn't fill. What do you mean? What didn't fill? So congrats to Boggs. Congrats to Josh in chat. Slewfoot up there. Classic. Was it 5K to first? 5K to first. There we go. Oh, you beat out Boggs. Nice. Nice job. Yeah, Bobby was flapping his gums about Dallas all day yesterday. Yeah, Boom was on Dallas. Great call by Boom. I should have listened to him a little bit more. Brock. Okay, so Isles 2 with Boston 1. I mean, pretty standard here. Wait, so you guys had the same lineup except for goalie. You just outscored with Stalock and Fleury. Okay. So just a 4-4 power play 1 quarterback correlating with a few of your forwards. That's awesome. I mean, yeah, Boggs is a really good player. You're obviously a very good player too, so it makes sense that you guys would land on similar stuff, just differentiating at the goalie, and you got on the right side of it this time. Stalock, 30 save win, 1 goal allowed. Could have had the shutout too. You could have walked away with this pretty easily. Oh God, Nashville let me down again. How do you feel about Nashville 1? They're the worst. They're the absolute worst. So you can. I think I got pretty lucky last night because if you look at my exposures, this is the $10. This is me. I got second. I was trying to chase down draft charts here. He ended up besting me by 0.8 points. Needed a couple more, or maybe like one more Dallas shot, or someone hit a bonus or something. But if you look at my exposures here, I mean, outside of Pitt 1, it was not great. Like two of my top 3 stacks failed pretty miserably. Well, Detroit 1 actually scored at the end. Mantha scored, but Bertuzzi 0, that's going to crush you. And then Nashville 1, my highest owned stack. Pitt 1 was good. Pitt 1 was one I felt good about. I think I mentioned that one on the show that I did like them, and I was wondering why their ownership was going to be low. And there they were, 3.34 and 3%. I thought it was a pretty good spot for a fully correlated stack. Once again, maybe a little bit overpriced. My Dallas exposure wasn't out of, it wasn't crazy. 7.3%. It was actually a little bit more than what I thought I would get to. So I was at the field with Sagan. A little bit higher on the secondary parts. Dowling was cheap. He ended up scoring. I think he got one called back earlier. Detroit 1 let me down last night. Yeah, Detroit 1's been good to me, I think, for the most part. Last night, not necessarily. And I had Detroit 1 in my spin lineup. So I would have liked a little bit more, but I wasn't going to compete in the spin anyways, I don't think. Yeah, so here's the lineup that I had. Oh, let me use this new trick. Malkin, Rust, Gensel, correlated goalie with Bishop, Schultz, Montour. I always like Montour for whatever reason. He was 1% owned, so felt pretty good about that. Has Pavelski done anything as of late for Dallas? Nothing for DK tournaments I've seen. Yeah, Pavelski's been pretty invisible. Let's see. You wanted to look at Slewfoot? Yeah, I'm always down for looking at what Slewfoot did. Arguably the best NHL player, I think, right now. At least for this season. He's been fantastic. Wow. So we were way different here. We were way different at the top of our exposures, right? So he was actually really heavy on Philly. Both the third line, the Couturier line, Couturier, Lindblom, Farabee, and then Giroux, Konechny with Frost. Wow, I didn't really see that coming. Must have graded out pretty well for him, and then you add in the expected ownership. If he uses ownership, I'm guessing he does in some form or fashion. They were really low owned, so that makes sense. High leverage, a guy who's got the money to take this kind of risk, and he took it, and it didn't even work out, but he was saved by a couple lineups. So it's always nice when that happens. And if you construct 150 good ones like he does so often, then even if you're a little bit off with your top couple plays, you've got a chance to bounce back. And you see he was profitable in the tournament. It's really tough to be profitable in. What was his actual top lineup? Ooh, okay, Boston won with the Brown, Duclair, Kachuk line, Seth's favorite line. Yeah. Connor Murphy, whoa, 19.7. I did see he got 19.7. I was not on him, though. Should I have been on Murphy? I mean, maybe there's a spot where you get a bunch of blocks. Grizzlick, I obviously understand the play. I always give Grizzlick a hard time, but he was 4K, power play 1 with Boston 1. So if you liked Boston 1, he was a logical play as a 4-man stack. And then Anders Nilsson, correlated goalie. Ottawa goalie always sees a ton of shots. And when they get the win, even if it's not very often, when they do, 23 points you get out of Anders Nilsson. The Murphy play, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just wasn't there. So maybe I missed something there. Min-salary defenseman, I'm guessing he wasn't expecting a huge performance out of him, but you slam 2 good lineups, and this Ottawa 2 good lines together. This Ottawa 2 line actually has really good numbers so far. Grizz a lock. There you go. Do you stick to single entry lineup if you have low bankroll to start for GPP? I would play the lowest stakes you can possibly. Lowest stakes possible that you can, I should say. So max the quarter, max the 5 cent on FanDuel, go play on Yahoo. They've got some dollar entries. Just work your way up and try to put the max entries in. I wouldn't necessarily just play single entry. If you only have time for one lineup or you only want to worry about tracking one lineup with late changes, then sure, just play one. But I like the idea of taking a stab at a couple $100 top prize in the 25 cents. So yeah, if you're just playing DK, 25 cent, start there, work your way up as you prove that you can be a profitable player. Work your way up to the 1, the 2, the the 4-check or the sniper or whatever, the $3 or $4, and then as you go, start to dabble in the higher dollar stuff and try to win tickets. I think nothing wrong with winning a couple tickets for the higher dollar stuff, maybe the 33 or the 360 or something like that. The spin's always fun, and it's a 50K top prize. That's about as good as you're going to get for NHL. So it's only about once a month, I think DK has it. So, try to win tickets. Don't go crazy trying to win tickets to, stuff that's a little bit out of your range, but gotta take some stabs at the big money at some point, right? That's what I keep telling myself, at least. All right. Cool. Let's go to, wow, there's 92 of you here. Yeah, just be careful. Don't go crazy with tickets. Like, if you see, I know FanDuel, there's a bunch of overlay on tickets, and people talk about that, like some of the sharper people, like the lower entry stuff, yeah, I think there's no problem playing like a 5 cent tournament to try to win a ticket to a $33 contest or whatever. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's fairly low risk, and the reward is big, and it gives you a chance to get into a higher dollar tournament. And if you run good in that, now all of a sudden you're looking at a really nice bankroll. And if not, well, you only spent a couple dollars trying to get that ticket. So just be smart. All right. Let's do these games. We got a little bit later lock today, 7:30 Eastern. So half hour later than usual. Do I like Lars Eller? Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. Ottawa, Montreal, Craig Anderson, Keith Kincaid in net, 2.8 implied total for the Sens, 3.8 for the Canadiens. Both of these teams played last night. Montreal was pretty disappointing. Ottawa was not. As you saw, Slewfoot almost took it down with Ottawa too. And that's kind of my favorite Ottawa line. So I'm wondering how popular they're actually going to be. So once we get ownership projections, we'll be able to see or get an idea, at least in the multi-entry tournaments, what ownership is going to look like. But obviously with the huge totals for Montreal and Washington, that's where the majority of ownership is going to be. And the pricing isn't too restrictive. It's pretty soft, I think, for a two-gamer, which I like because then ownership concentrates to a few guys. And if you get a little bit different, you're going to be really, really contrarian. All right, cool. Yeah, good luck. Good luck to you as well. Matchups here, we're probably going to see Deneau, Tatar, Gallagher, I would guess, against Tkachuk, Brown, and Duclair. Not an ideal matchup for Ottawa 2. I think pretty ideal for Deneau, Tatar, and Gallagher. That is my favorite Montreal line by a wide margin. They're just incredible at 5-on-5. Not sure there's a terrible matchup. You'd like to avoid Pajot, and I think they will for the most part. I mean, if you're Montreal, you probably want to avoid, or you probably want to use your shutdown line, the Deneau line, against Tkachuk and Duclair, especially based on how they've been playing. So I'm assuming that's what they're going to do, at least for a good amount of their ice time if this game stays close. So Montreal 1, I absolutely love. Gallagher is a guy you can certainly play in cash if you're playing cash on this slate. Points grade A, value grade A. Playing on a good line. I mean, doesn't get much better than him outside of Ovechkin, so he would be a guy I would be trying to jam in. I think Domi, also a really good value. We've got him as an A. And Lehkonen, actually. I do agree with the A value there for 3K. He's not listed on a power play, but that's not the end of the world, especially on a two-gamer. Weber, Alex has listed as an A value grade. It is. I mean, it's a really good spot. The question is, can you go Shea Weber over John Carlson? Because it's difficult to fit in both and get in quality forwards and like highly correlated forwards as well. So I think I'm defaulting more towards Carlson here, and I'm probably going to forego playing a ton of Shea Weber, which is scary based on how he's looked at times this season. He's looked really good, but I have a lot more Carlson right now. I think if I was making a single entry, it would be probably building around Carlson, Ovi, and then whatever else I could fit. Oh, no way, dude. The Leafs fired Babcock? No way. Dang, dude. Wow. Did not think it was going to be that soon. Okay. All right. I was talking to Corsi. He's a big Leafs fan. And he said he doesn't think it's going to happen until Sunday at the earliest. And yeah. Wow. I mean, you lose to Boston a few times in the playoffs, have a bad start. I mean, it's not even. He was on the hot. Yeah, no doubt he was on the hot seat. Which is weird because they're like 3 points out of a playoff spot in November. But I think there was some talk maybe they were gonna fire him last year. Weird. I mean, not weird. I mean, not completely out of off the wall there, but there you go. No Babcock for the Leafs anymore. Maybe he'll next coach will play Matthews and Nylander and Janssen a little bit more, especially Matthews. Anyways, on the Ottawa side, Spat's minutes, again, they're a little bit low, so it does make a difference if he's playing 25 compared to like 20, 21 minutes. He'll probably be somewhere in that range tonight. down to 4,900. It's not a bad play at all, especially on a 2-gamer, especially if you're allowing for defensemen in your utility spot if you're playing on DK. I do like Shabbat. He's up there for me for sure. The defenseman I'm actually getting to the most in this game, though, is Jeff Petrie. I just love that he's 4,400. He correlates really well to Montreal 1, and they're all on the second power play. Like I said yesterday, that was pretty split up, so I'm not that worried about the second power play tag for Petrie or these three. If you're looking at other defensemen in this game, it would most likely just be Dylan DeMello. Let's see where he's at. Yeah, he was up to 22 minutes last game. He played more than Shabbat yesterday. He's not great, but blocks, maybe you get a couple shots on goal. Maybe you somehow sneak in a block bonus or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, he'll probably find a job somewhere else this year. I agree. They love recycling their head coaches. D'Angelo, we'll get to them. But my favorite line here is Ottawa 2. I think they're going to be the most popular line. I think Ottawa 3, pretty interesting as well. White, Nemesnikov. If you're playing like a Washington onslaught and want a 2-man Ottawa stack or a Montreal onslaught, White, Nemesnikov, I think you could do a little bit. You could do worse than them for sure. So if you're digging deep, Ottawa 3, maybe an option. Peugeot, 5,200. He's been good for sure. Yeah, fantasy Sharpie. Ottawa 1 maybe gets less minutes because they won't play shutdown. Yeah, I think that could be the case as well. But Peugeot is going to play a bunch of minutes. I don't know about Paul and Brown as much. Wheel as a punt, 2,600, I suppose. He's listed on the top power play. Brown will still play 22 minutes somehow. Who knows, dude? Got to roll out Connor Brown for 20 minutes. Anderson is so bad, Senators have to play lights out. Yeah, Anderson, not great, but he's going to get completely peppered this game, you would think. I'm attacking him with Montreal 1. And then I'll have some Domi one-offs. The second line decently correlated with Armia and Domi on the top power play with Weber. They're a little bit more affordable to stack. So I think the ownership's going to be pretty similar between these top two lines as stacks, to be honest, because you can easily do this with Shea Weber, whereas, this is a lot more expensive when you're trying to jam in Weber, especially if you're trying to get to Ovi, which people will definitely be trying to get to. Do the Caps just have to play on every 2-game slate? Like, what is this? Feels like they're on every one of these. Like the last 3, I'm pretty sure they've been on. Kutka, Niemi, and Lehkonen, also a nice 2-man if you are looking to do that kind of thing. If you're going 3-2-1, I'm doing a lot of 3-2-1 tonight. I usually do on 2-gamers like this. All right, other game, Caps and the Rangers. Capitals 3.6 implied total. Rangers 3.0. Braden Holtby and Henrik Lundqvist in net. And the Rangers have been incredibly bad. Defensively, their last resort is just Lundqvist. So playing 50 lineups tonight, I think it's pretty. The difficulty I'm having here is just how many skaters do I allow in my Lundqvist lineups, and it's going to be at least one, but it might be 2. It might be 2, just because, even if he has a great game, is he going to get a shutout? Probably not. If he sees the 35 save bonus, I think that's decently likely, even though the Caps aren't great in terms of putting a ton of shots on goal. They're not Carolina. But yeah, Ovi, Lundqvist, Kuznetsov, Ovi, Lundqvist, or something like that. There's just so many possibilities on the Cap side. So I'm I'm probably going to allow for 2 skaters against Lundqvist specifically, and the rest of the guys 1. Maybe you could consider 2 against Craig too, just and hope he gets the 40 shots with 3 goals allowed, and you get the couple goals from Montreal in some form or fashion. No Backstrom tonight for the Caps. That's the big news. Not really sure they're going to need him, especially not offensively. So matchups here, probably going to see Strome, Panarin, and Jesper Fast up against Kuznetsov, Ovi, Wilson. That's a pretty good matchup for both sides when you look at the numbers defensively for both sides. Both really bad numbers, but a lot of talent offensively. Panarin, 5,900, one of the most underpriced players, especially if he's going to be in this hard match situation with Kuznetsov and Ovi and Wilson. I mean, brutal numbers defensively. I'm talking 15 high danger chances against per 60 for this Washington 1 lineup in like a 350 or 360 minute sample. They're just not good defensively, but they are exciting offensively. Strome, Panarin, minutes last game, craziness. I think forward or 2 might have gotten hurt in that game, but they both played 27 minutes in regulation. Yeah, they're going to play a lot. Rangers are just not deep. You just have to, and they can't stop anyone either. So you have to rely on those guys for offense, especially Panarin. So they're actually a really good stack. They're the stack I prefer. I'm usually on the second line for the Rangers, but for me tonight, it's going to be a lot of Strome, Panarin, Fast. A lot of it's going to go through Panarin. He's probably going to be my highest exposed Ranger outside of maybe Trouba, I think. I really do like Trouba a lot in the spot for a couple different reasons. I like that he's on the second power play. That usually gets lower ownership. I think he's going to skate a lot with Panarin and Strome and Fast at 5-on-5, so there is some correlation there, even if it's not the power play. Block shots certainly going to be a thing here for Trouba. He's a guy who's willing to take a bunch of block shots. And then, well, maybe not Ovi slappers, but I don't think anybody is. Who knows? Maybe he gets the shot on goal bonus. It's not like the Caps don't allow their fair share of shots as well. So the minutes should be huge for Trouba. In the shutdown role, you hope, against Kuznetsov, Ovi, and Wilson. So I like Rangers 1 with Trouba. You can go Trouba with anyone, or Fox, I guess, but he's very much a secondary play for me, as is D'Angelo, as is Brady Shea. On the Cap side, you can onslaught. You can basically do whatever you want with Caps. Basically all my lineups tonight will have at least one Caps player. A lot of them will have 3 to 5. Ovi's my highest exposed player right now. Shocking, I know. Carlson is my, let's say, like 3rd or 4th highest exposed player. It's just, they're really difficult to avoid. The Rangers are that bad defensively. And so even if, they only score 2 goals, yeah, you could get there completely fading the Caps if, once again, it's just a goal from each line, or you get goals from the 3rd and 4th lines or something like that. But I think more often than not, you're probably going to see, Ovi and Lars Eller and Oshie and Kuznetsov, like those guys doing the damage. So it makes it really, really, really difficult to avoid. That's why I say maybe you allow for 2 skaters against your goalie here. At the very least, I think 1 against Lundqvist. But there's definitely a case to be made for 2, because short slate, a nice way to differentiate. Nobody talks about Fox, Dark Horse. Check out the logs. Check out the logs, you say. He played under 17 minutes last night. I mean, yeah, anybody could get assists, right? He had a nice stretch here of 5 games where he scored at least 8 DK points in all of them. Last 2, he went 4.1 and 2.6. I mean, he's on the top power play. and playing with Strome and Panarin on the power play, so it could be worse. But I just think the top power play tag is going to increase his ownership probably higher than it should be for the most part. Orlov, Carlson, both awesome plays. Like I said, Carlson probably my highest owned defenseman tonight. It's going to be a mixture of him, Trouba, Shabbat, and Petrie for the most part. New NHL, more penalties, more scoring. Eller is possibly my favorite value on the slate. We've only got him as a B, but like, you know, he gets a bump up without Backstrom. Top power play, getting exposure to all these guys. I mean, you can power play stack the caps almost with Carlson. I think you might be able to get it done actually. Let's see here. Wheel. Yeah, you can do it. Well, you're going to have to play Craig. Yeah, it's difficult, but you can get 4 out of 5 there with Eller. Eller's going to be one of my highest exposed forwards. Like he's a fine player too. It's not like he's bad. It's not like he doesn't shoot and he's some sort of passenger. Like he's going to be just fine, I think, with Verana and Oshie. With him at 5-on-5, it doesn't really matter who they go up against, I don't think. If I got a B in school, I'd be thrilled. My parents always wanted A's. Isn't Kako on line 1? He's on power play 1. I didn't see him being on line 1. Let me see. No, I'm not seeing that. Did he skate there last game? No, I've got Kako on line 3. But you can play him for 4K. Top power play. Like if you wanted to go Strome, Panarin, Kako. Not a bad option at all. Yeah, he's on 3. Okay. Just want to check this out and make sure I'm not missing anything. Rangers forwards from last game. No, it was Strome, Panarin, and Foss the whole game last game. So wouldn't really expect much different unless we hear something pregame. Kako will be on line 1 next year. He'll probably make his way up there at some point this year, I would think. I mean, it's kind of foolish not to, right? Maybe they're just protecting him. Okay, Craig Anderson is starting. More Babcock firing. Okay. Anyways, FanDuel has him on line 1. Why? I mean, okay. Just get your lineup sourcing from somewhere else. Yeah, don't listen to what FanDuel has to say. Just double check at the very least. Rangers 3, Howden, Lemieux, and Kako. Actually, not that bad of a full stack. The problem is you're probably not going to need the full stack. So I'm getting to more of it as a 2-man with Howden, Kako, or Howden, Lemieux, or something like that. I think with no Backstrom, a little bit, a lot of it actually, weaker down the middle for the Caps and just weaker depth now with Eller moving up. I think they can generate chances. So Rags 3, there you go. Gonna be a line I'm gonna have more than the field of. I'm fairly certain on that. Overlisted as PP2 on Fantasy Cruncher. Yeah, that's because he plays on both. So it doesn't really change anything. Like he is on the top power play. He's on every power play. He just plays the whole 2 minutes. Probably not that tiring for him. He's just getting fed slappers. So if he can do it, why wouldn't you just have him on both power plays? I would. What do we got here? Okay. Cool. We're doing the likes for unlocking premium content on the NBA deeper dive and live before lock show. So if you guys are watching that, give it your like, and you get free content unlocked. So those numbers will be announced on show. If you're looking to PP stack, you may have to manually change though. Yeah, that's a good call, Zach. That's actually a really good call. Nice. Definitely do that if you are looking to PP stack. Just be aware that Ovi is listed on the second power play because he's the only one that plays the whole 2 minutes in the NHL. So hard to account for that kind of. All right, well, I think we covered everything. Should be a pretty fun 2-gamer. I'm not sure which game is on NBCSN. There has to be one. It's probably Caps Rangers, right? So maybe I'll get a chance to watch some of this. Other than that, I will probably just be following along on my phone. If even doing that, we'll see. Make sure you guys do this Twitter giveaway. This would be really helpful if you guys could get in here and just give us your guess. It takes a couple seconds. You have a chance to win a free Osmo Plus NHL pass. I mean, there's really no downside to it. You follow the accounts, you retweet, like, reply, and give your guess. So you can scan the other guesses and see, maybe go with someone contrarian. Maybe go with Duclair or someone like that. If you want to have the top prize yourself and don't want to, take any chances or anything like that. Yeah, let's win some money for the big slate tomorrow. I agree. Do we have the expert survey out just yet? Oh, we do. There we go. It's free today. Nice. So here's the actual link to the NBA expert survey. We have Osmo's NFL DFS rankings as well. Those are free. Go check all this free stuff out. If you got any questions about memberships or anything like that for any sport, not just NHL, feel free to message me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is above me now with this new layout. Hit the like button. Uncle DFS says, thank you. I always forget to ask. If you guys could, that would be very much appreciated. I'm asking a lot of you today, but if you could, that does help me out. It does help the channel out a lot. It helps us continue to do this kind of content for free, which it seems like you guys do enjoy. Shout out to Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports. Thank you for sponsoring us. Thank you for providing DFS with lower management fees. Go support Yahoo, and when you do, use promo code AWESOMO for up to $30 in Yahoo Sports rewards points. We've got an 11-gamer tomorrow, is that right? Anyways, big slate. I know that. Nolan and I will be back. Again, if you got any questions, feel free to hit me up. Promo code is HitTheIce if you want to get 50% off your first month of any Osmo.com monthly subscription. So go check that out. Go to the join page. Do all that. And once again, please participate in this giveaway. It would be really helpful to me and us, and hopefully we can have more of these in the future. So the more people we get responding, the more interaction we can get, the more often we can do these for NHL specifically. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining, and we'll be back tomorrow at 4 Eastern sharp for the big slate.